dangerous. If you know where he is, contact the Hallettsville Police Department at 361-798-3683. Hallettsville police arrest a 23-year-old man at the city park there close to midnight Wednesday. During a search of the man's vehicle, 2 baggies containing methamphetamine and a methamphetamine pipe were found. The man was taken into custody and now faces a third-degree felony charge.
Bay City issued a boil water notice Wednesday. Bay City leaders report the notice comes after a mechanical issue with one of their water wells after a fire hydrant repair. Water pressures in Bay City were restored and they're now testing the system. The Bed Bath & Beyond in Victoria is on the latest list of closures for the home goods chain. The Victoria Bed Bath & Beyond is located at 7808 Zach Lentz Parkway. Bed Bath & Beyond announced this week it is closing 149 more stores for a total of over 400 store closings in the past several months. Company officials say they have raised about $1 billion that will be used to pay off its debts.
Just after noon today, authorities were busy with the crash in the 5800 block of North John Stockbauer Drive near Northeast Zach Lentz Parkway. No word on whether anyone was hurt. The feeder road onto the loop from Prosperity Bank was closed for a short time. The Karnes County Sheriff's Office reports a man escaped from the Karnes County Immigration Processing Center just after midnight. Authorities are warning residents to be on the lookout for the man and to not pick up any hitchhikers. Call the Karnes County Sheriff's Office at 830-780-3931, option 1, if you see or are approached by a suspicious person.
As of Thursday this afternoon, almost 1,500 Austin Energy customers were still without power. As a result of the loss of power, KXAN reports in a special called executive session, Austin City Council was expected to spend much of the day behind closed doors evaluating the effectiveness of Austin City Manager Spencer Cronk. Cronk has apologized for any shortcomings in the city's response. And now let's take a look at the forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon. Howie.
Thanks, Karina. So a beautiful day today, in my opinion. I like this warm weather. Temperatures in the 70s on a nice winter February day. The thing is, we're going to start to see temperatures cool down again overnight, obviously, and into the next couple days as we have a front headed our way. But on the coast, mid-60s, get away from the water, closer to 70 degrees. Winds, not bad right now, but as that front, we're expecting a front tonight, gets a little closer. We'll start to see these winds pick up maybe into that 30, maybe 35 mile per hour range. So 50s this evening, partly cloudy, not too bad, but then drop to 45, and that's not horrible, but look at the winds. 30 mile per hour winds at 45, that will be on the chilly side, but we do see warmer temperatures in our future, and we'll talk all about everything coming up with weather in a little bit. Don, Karina.
Thanks, Howie. Authorities are responding to reports of a possible shooting at the Dallas County Health and Human Services building. The building was placed on lockdown. There is a heavy police presence in that area. Authorities are investigating each floor in search of any possible suspects. An aerial view of the scene showed police being escorted out of the building, and law enforcement were seen on the ground and on top of the roof of the high-rise. A man who carried a large Confederate flag inside the Capitol during the January 6th attack has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. Kevin Seafried was part of the mob that chased Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman. During the trial, Officer Goodman testified that Seafried jabbed him with a flagpole. Seafried's son was with him at the Capitol that day. In October, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Kevin's Closet is on the verge of closing down. The store, originally called Crossroads Closet, was opened in remembrance of Kevin Garza, who was killed in an unsolved hit and run. So here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to participate. Do you plan to support Kevin's Closet? Yes or no? We take a look at those results, and 26% say yes and 74% say no. Also, 25 News Now reporter Adam Seibel will be in studio at 10 with an update.
A woman who was recently indicted following the death of her husband in Chambers County was previously under investigation for the shooting death of her fiancé in Minnesota. Sarah Hartsfield was indicted in Chambers County last week for murder after her husband, 46-year-old Joseph Hartsfield, died in January. KPRC reports Sarah Hartsfield fatally shot her fiancé in 2018 in Minnesota. Hartsfield is being held on a $5 million bond.
The tragic deaths of 3 Carrollton students who police say overdosed on fentanyl continue to get attention across North Texas. The Carrollton School District is hosting a meeting tonight to address these concerns. The deaths have school officials and police on extreme high alert. Earlier this week, Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD added random drug sniffing dog searchers to middle school and high school campuses. Now, the president of the Southwest Pilot Union and the company's chief operating officer in a Senate committee hot seat Thursday grilled by lawmakers over last year's holiday travel chaos that saw to close 17,000 flights canceled.
And 2 million passengers stranded, with lawmakers and the flying public wanting to know one thing: can it happen at Southwest again?
Let me be clear, we messed up.
Southwest's chief operating officer cutting right to the chase.
I want to sincerely and humbly apologize to those impacted by the disruption.
Southwest Pilots Union putting the blame for last December's travel meltdown squarely on company leadership.
For years, our pilots have been sounding the alarm about Southwest's inadequate crew scheduling technology and outdated operational processes. Unfortunately, those warnings have been summarily ignored by Southwest leaders.
The union says failure to properly prepare for December's winter storm, outdated crew management systems, and failure to listen to frontline employees were all factors.
And the cascade of challenges led to waves of cancellations within 2 hours of departure. This overwhelmed our crew scheduling processes and technology.
Southwest says it has worked to make it right with affected passengers, and fixes to the failed crew scheduling system will go live on Friday. This, as all other operational processes are being reviewed.
We need to make sure our operational resiliency and technology are strengthened for future extreme weather events. We owe that to our customers and to our employees.
On that, the pilots union agrees.
While it would be easy to kick our company when it's down, this is our company. SWAPA pilots desire what the American public deserves: a healthy company with happy employees who have the tools they need to deliver a safe, reliable product to consumers.
I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Several hundred migrants were seen lined up along the bridge on the border highway near El Paso Thursday morning. KVIA reports the migrants are still on the Mexican side of the border. CNN reports the Biden administration is considering deporting non-Mexican migrants to Mexico in a step to stem the flow of migration to the U.S. southern border. Emergency management authorities in Louisiana are assessing destruction following severe storms near New Orleans Wednesday night. 3 injuries have been reported. None were considered life-threatening. The damage followed a tornado warning and at least 1 confirmed tornado. Authorities said there is extensive damage to homes and structures. Another possible tornado is reported to have hit St. Landry Parish.
More than 100 migrants landed in the Florida Keys Thursday. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol says the migrants traveled by sea in this vessel and are from Haiti. Officials are providing medical assistance and resources to the migrants. The Florida governor has activated the National Guard to help with a recent influx of migrants from Cuba and Haiti in the Keys. That executive order expires in March.
Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6. The Biden administration gives an update on that China spy balloon that floated over the U.S. last week.
Also ahead, SpaceX takes a step closer in South Texas to spinning its giant Starship spacecraft into orbit.
In South Texas, NASA conducted a test Thursday of its newly redesigned engine for future flights of the SpaceX Launch System rocket. The test came at the SpaceX plant near Brownsville. The new engines will help power future Artemis missions to the moon. During the latest test, engineers fired that engine for about 8.5 minutes, the same amount of time the engines must operate to help power the rocket into space.
The U.S. House of Representatives has voted to condemn China for a spy balloon that flew in U.S. airspace. The resolution passed with overwhelming bipartisan support and not a single vote against it Thursday. The State Department confirmed the balloon had video technology capable of monitoring U.S. communications. China admits the balloon came from its soil but says it was of a civilian nature. The Pentagon says it's 100% certain that's not true and alleges China sent spy balloons elsewhere in the world, but China denies it.
The Texas A&M University System Board of Regents Thursday almost doubled the construction budget for Phase 1 of the Texas A&M Fort Worth Urban Research Campus. Regents approved a raise in the budget to $150 million, greater than expected demand for space in the Law and Education building. That's what they responded to. That is the first of a 3-building Texas A&M complex to be built in downtown Fort Worth.
Alrighty, grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contests. You can also submit news, tips, videos, and photos. Here's Howie.
Thanks, Karina. We're going to see our 70s get knocked down by a cold front. 70-degree temperatures, that is, and we'll talk about it straight ahead.
After an extraordinary news-making year, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
Shop the President's Day mattress sale at Lax Furniture and get a free foundation with a purchase of select Restonic mattresses or a free adjustable base when you buy a Reserve by Lax mattress. Plus, get interest-free financing for up to 60 months. Going on now at Lax.
This is where I learned to be a doctor. This is the place where I found my family. The place where I fell in love.
There's no one like her.
Sometimes change is good.
Big last day.
Sometimes change is everything.
You know I'll probably be here next week.
You just let us toast you.
Grey's Anatomy. Meredith says farewell to Seattle. Thursday, February 23rd on ABC.
I really don't like pressure. Everybody's looking at you.
Are you suggesting to me that you don't like the pressure of everybody looking at you? Says the man who drops the New Year's Eve ball.
Next by Maud Apatow. Plus, pamper yourself with back-to-back bargains.
The part where I hold my breath is the countdown from 10. He's gonna screw up.
I think I might screw it up too.
1 in 5 deaths of people 20 to 49 can be attributed to excessive alcohol use. You actually had alcohol poisoning.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You drank yourself sick.
Yeah, 100%.
Was your intention to get drunk?
I didn't plan to black out, and I did.
What's the difference between a very bad habit and having an actual problem?
You have the statistics, and they are very scary.
All new Dr. Phil.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Go faster with 99.9% reliable internet from Optimum. Get 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month with no annual contract. Stay connected on award-winning internet. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide, and now equipment is included for whole home Wi-Fi coverage. Go from 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month to achieving more throughout the year. Call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit your local store today. Call, click, or visit a store today.
All right, we'll start off in Cuero. Beautiful, beautiful shot out there. Lots of sunshine today. We're going to keep the sunshine, but we're going to see some cooler. We're going to feel some cooler temperatures. Here's what took place earlier today. 72. Here we go. February, a nice, beautiful winter day. We've been as warm as 90 back in 1962. But we're going to see some cooler temperatures as early as overnight and into tomorrow. Here's what we're looking at. On the coast, mid-60s, get away from the water, mid to upper 60s. We were in the mid-70s, so had a good portion of the viewing area today. But without our cloud cover, high pressure pushing down, clearing our skies, cooler air dropping down from the north, we're getting another boundary pushing through. We're looking at temperatures dropping into the 40s overnight. Here's our dew points. These got chopped down a little bit. We have another boundary coming in overnight. We might get knocked down into the 20s and 30s. Well, what does that mean? Without that moisture, it doesn't hold temperatures. So with the dew points lower, temperatures can drop even further overnight. Thus, maybe in the 30s by Friday morning and headed into Saturday night, we could see some really chilly temperatures. All right, winds. Not too bad today, 5-10 mile per hour winds. But as that boundary heads closer tonight, we can start to see winds picking up to that 30 mile per hour range. You see temperatures in the 40s with winds in the 30 mile per hour range. It might feel like the real feel temperatures in the 30s. All right, here's our boundary. We're expecting the next one. Here's our last one that passed through out there in the middle of the Gulf. Our next one is coming through overnight and into tomorrow. Yeah, here's what's going to happen. It's going to be a dry boundary, not going to really see an inch of rain or an inkling of rain. I shouldn't say an inch of rain or an inkling of rain or a spit of rain. But here's what's going to happen. That cool air is going to follow in behind. And as I mentioned, 40s tonight, winds picking up as that boundary pushes through. Wind chills in the 30s. And then maybe by Friday morning, Friday night into Saturday morning, we could see temperatures, potentially in the 30s. Even some wind chills flirting with the 20s if winds are high enough. High pressure takes over. But then after the weekend, or at the end of the weekend, here's what happens. For Super Bowl Sunday, we'll start to see some warm air pushing out of the west and the southwest. That will start to increase temperatures for us. We'll start to get back into the 70s and maybe even push an 80 later on in the week. All right, we were smooth sailing yesterday. Seas about 2 to 3 feet. Now occasionally up to 9 feet. Bays on the rough side. Again, a small craft advisory. You want to be careful out there on the waterway. So 50s this evening, but overnight dropping into the 40s, partly cloudy. But here you go. There's the winds around 30 miles per hour at 45 degrees. Yeah, that's going to be a real feel in the 30s. That'll be pretty chilly. Tomorrow, only a high, I say only 55, lots of sun. That would be beautiful if winds were on the light side, but winds are going to gust away to 30, so that can be uncomfortable as well. Looking ahead to Cuero, okay, after those cool couple days, we start to warm back. Eventually, look at Wednesday, up to 82, and then in Port Lavaca on the water. By Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, 65. Later in the week, Wednesday, up to 75, and then right back here, couple cold, I want to say cool days, not cold, Friday and Saturday. Super Bowl Sunday back in the 60s, and then later in the week, hey, we head back into the 70s before another cool down. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com, and that is free with any Android and iPhone. And now we go back to Karina.
Thanks, Howie. And now here's Sports Director Gina Perez.
Thanks, Karina. The Ganado quarterback signed his letter of intent this morning. We hear from him after the break.
This one is for every parent who knows every word of their kid's favorite cartoon show. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Tired of your typical clock in, clock out job? You need a rewarding career in an entertaining environment that you'll enjoy. Take yourself out of the box and come to the Victoria Television Group. We have an active, fun, creative atmosphere that can help you succeed and keep those everyday work blues away. Come join our energetic and outgoing sales team. Renew your career and learn to use skills you didn't know you had. Call us 361-575-2500 or email opportunity@victoriatelevision.com for more information.
Hungry? Ruben invites you to Las Palmas, where fresh is always the best. Go for the breakfast tacos, migas, and all your favorite breakfast foods. We've got lunch covered too, Monday through Friday lunch specials from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. After a long day, come have dinner with us. Daily dinner specials run from 3 p.m. to closing. And don't forget your Frankerita, only at Las Palmas, where fresh is always the best. Call us for your catering.
Now, your car used to be his car,
A vandalized vehicle leads to twisted logic.
You were actually referring to this BMW as your car.
D'Anthony prostituted me when I was only 17 years old.
He was a pimp. Therefore, you are really the owner of the BMW because it was paid from money that you earned.
Yes.
This case has become more interesting as we've progressed.
Right.
Next, Judge Judy.
I came to Alaska for a job.
We're investigating another missing murdered Indigenous woman.
What am I missing?
Did you kill Gloria Nunmuck?
There's a gunman in the newsroom. He's taken Eileen hostage.
What can I do to make things right?
Stop lying to me!
Did the suspect fire?
If the last time your team won the Stanley Cup was before you were born, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Tune in to 25 News Now on Thursdays 6 p.m. news and Fridays 6 a.m. news for the Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Pepsi, the preferred partner of local athletes.
Patty Crossroads. Earlier today, the Ganado Indians celebrated its quarterback heading to Fort Worth. Kyle Burris Guerrero is moving to the defensive side of the ball and will be playing linebacker for Texas Wesleyan University up north. He received 4 offers to play at the next level, but decided to be a Ram because the foundation the coaching staff had, along with it, made it feel like home. The quarterback said he will miss his family, friends, and coaches, and reminisces on his favorite memory as a quarterback.
The most exciting game I ever had played in was the London game. That game came down to the wire. And when we scored the final drive, you just heard the stands blow up. And when you see it on film, the camera was just shaking. I mean, it was a wonderful experience, wonderful experience.
In his 4-year career in Ganado, he threw for 7,653 yards, 85 touchdowns, ran for 4,846 yards, and 98 touchdowns, which ranked 55 all-time in the state of Texas. Every year of his high school career, the Indians made it to at least the 3rd round of playoffs. The senior hopes to major in astronomy or horticulture because it's interesting. Now, Edna will play Randolph in the playoffs Monday after their victory over Yoakum. Sports reporter Zach Brown spoke to one of the girls whose big game pushed them over the top.
The Edna girls basketball team is officially in the postseason thanks to a huge win over Yoakum. The leading scorer in that game was Jashanti Guerra, who helped put the team over the top with a massive 3rd quarter after going into the half down 4 in the must-win battle. Asking her about their clutch performance, she says it was simple. Losing wasn't an option.
It was a good win, big win for us. We knew we had to win that game to make playoffs, and yeah, that's what we did.
She talks about how great the team's chemistry is since they've all known each other for years and gives her team credit and says they all play off of each other and that's how they thrive.
We work really good together, and without them, I probably wouldn't have got this award.
She says before the games, they listen to Drake and Lil Wayne to get ready, but her teammates made sure to let me know they also listen to Lil Baby to get hype. And speaking of hype, they know they're going to need that energy in their next game because that one is the most important game of their season.
Now it's time to really focus in and prepare for this game. It's a big one.
Getting locked in was the theme at practice, and this group of girls love to have fun, but the key is knowing when to turn it off and get serious. Well, she got serious Tuesday night, scoring 13 in the 3rd and 20 in the game, and helped propel the Edna Cowgirls into the postseason. And that is why Jashanti Guerra is your Pepsi Athlete of the Week.
That's your sports, Don and Karina. Back to you.
Thanks, Gino. We're back in a moment. A Virginia couple was on the way to the hospital to give birth to a new baby. The baby had other plans.
We got to work all of the luck tonight. We got this.
Tonight, to beat the Titans of trivia,
Meet the bad guy.
you must become the biggest brain in the game.
Genghis Khan. Guacamole. Georgia?
The Chase, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
The Victoria Television Group is proud to honor our veterans, and we need your entries. Each month, we'll acknowledge a new veteran to salute. To submit, go to the Military Hero page on CrossroadsToday.com and help us recognize the deserving servicemen and women in our community.
For months, we've been saying that Fred Loya can save you more money on your car insurance. But just how much more? In recent months, people who switched from Geico and Progressive to Fred Loya Insurance have saved over $1,500 a year. State Farm customers who switched to Fred Loya saved over $1,600 a year. Allstate customers saved over $1,100 a year. That's a combined savings of over $240,000 a year. So start paying less. Call or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
If you think you're in love with where American Idol is now, I tell you the best is yet to come.
You're going to Hollywood!
Every year, our talent does get a little better because it brings people from all over.
Do I think we've found the next big pop star this season? I think we've found the next top 10 pop stars. You've got the magic in you.
American Idol season premiere February 19th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
What are you going to sing today?
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips.
Friday, Tiny Heroes Unite! From Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, William Jackson Harper. Make me big!
Aggressive drivers, they aren't just rude, they can be deadly. Don't be that guy.
And finally tonight, a Virginia couple has quite a story to tell after they welcomed their newest bundle of joy. Nearly 2 hours after Logan Roop's contractions started, her water broke. On the way to drop off their 2 daughters at a relative's house before heading to the hospital, Logan gave birth to a baby girl inside the car. A crew from the volunteer fire department then arrived. On Tuesday, the family reunited with those firefighters. Way to go, firefighters, to help out. But can you imagine, you're trying to maybe pick up your children there, and oh my gosh, time for a third child.
I can't.
That's
a crazy story, but those are the good kind of stories too.
Absolutely. Now, do we have weather, Howie, where it'll baby us just to make us feel really good?
You want some cooler weather? What are you talking about, Don?
Oh, yeah.
Hot cocoa maybe tonight, dropping in the 40s?
Hot cocoa, yeah.
All right, a little hot cocoa tonight.
Are you offering?
Yeah, I'll get you some. We got some here, new break room here. I'll get you some for sure. Bays will be rough. Seas occasionally at 9 feet, 50s this evening, 45. Later in the week, though, we do warm up even after our cool down. Don't worry, I'll get it back to you in a second here. All right, Don, Karina, take it away.
Thank you, Howie. Thanks for joining us. We're streaming 24/7 Crossroads Today Plus.
See you tonight on 25 News Now at 10.